Pokemon cards are no stranger to hype trains, and it's no secret that we are in a total bull run of Pokemon cards at the moment, so much so that it's becoming increasingly more challenging to get newer sets. Surging Sparks comes in waves, and then Prismatic Evolution set is also becoming much harder to find for pre-orders. Now, this is the first time we've seen this for Pokemon cards in a very long time, but why is this happening? And more so, can this hype and momentum continue? Because there are a few reasons why it may struggle in the near future, and I'm going to explain what I mean more about that in just a second. Though before I get into this video, I just want to say if you're new here, hi and welcome. My name's Phil and I run this Pokemon collecting channel. I cover all things Pokemon collecting and investing relating to the Pokemon TCG. Feel free to subscribe to stay in the loop. It's always great to see new people come on board the channel. However, as I was saying, singles for Surging Sparks will be interesting in 2025, especially with the amount of quality that's scheduled within 2025. And I'm going to walk you through some of the sets and what we can expect later on in this video. However, let's have a little quick overview of the current market and what's happening with some of the prices. So actually, before I get into that, I didn't know who to share this with and I was really excited. I wanted to show everyone, but I mean, I've got this channel that cares about Pokemon. So I found my old Game Boy Color and my Pokemon Blue. What's actually cool is that I had a Mew that I actually got in this game. There was a way you could get Mew back in the day. I believe it is still accessible and available to see in the game. And here I am on my Pokemon Blue. Hopefully you can see that quite clear. You can actually see, dude, that is a Mew from like so many years ago. This is so old, and the fact that it's still here, I heard that these cartridges, the battery dies out and I've never replaced it. So the fact that it's still here is pretty cool. Level 31. So I thought that'd be a little bit interesting to share with you all. All right, some of the prices of these cards. And like I was saying, it is a very high in demand period for Pokemon cards. And we are kind of seeing now other cards rise in value. So here we have the Crown Zenith Pikachu, which you can see right now on the graph, it has gone up quite substantially. Truth be told, I personally feel this card was undervalued for way too long, and Crown Zenith in general. I think Crown Zenith has been undervalued for a long time, but this Pikachu in particular was almost like a free card for how cheap it was, considering how good the quality was. You can see right now that was selling in February this year for $6, went all the way up to $12, so doubled in price, fell back down to around $7 after that whole Crown Zenith reprint that happened in 2024, and now look at that, spiked all the way to $21. If we go on the month graph, you can see just what an enormous price increase. It's gone down a little bit, but now back down to $15, though I do think this will continue to go up because there is a high Pikachu momentum at the moment with Surging Sparks and what's going on. Everyone is kind of Pikachu crazy at the moment. Now, while looking at these prices, I thought it would be good to share that on my channel's Discord server, we've actually added a collector app section for all users who can share their collector profiles with the community. And this actually brings me to the sponsor of today's video, which is Collector. So Collector is not just one of the best apps for tracking collections. It actually gives you a complete overview of the overall market. So as you know, Pokemon card prices change very frequently, and keeping up with them can be quite overwhelming, and that's where Collector becomes incredibly useful. So Collector provides a complete overview of your collectible portfolio, and it allows you to search and add your cards and sealed collection, along with showing you how the price travels over time. You can easily populate your collection within the app, and you can even set what price you paid for specific cards. The app also keeps you updated on the market's performance and lets you search the marketplace for specific products. What I love is being able to separate my cards and even the specific grades and have the data transparent all in the one place. So if you're sick of tracking collections on spreadsheets, then feel free to use Collector. You can learn much more about the Collector app within the description of this video, and once you populate your Collector app, feel free to share it within my channel's Discord server. Now, moving forward, we have the Giratina Galarian VSTAR from Crown Zenith. What an amazing card. You can also see in the last 3 months, this has gone up. So this was selling in September for 95 USD, and right now it's selling for 120 USD. Fair bit of price growth, right? If we pull this into the year graph, you can see this Giratina was ready to take flight. It was so ready to go up in value, and you can see that earlier this year, selling for $77 in March, and then it went up all the way to $138. The reprint, the Sam's Club product all got released. That kind of went right down all the way to $97. And you can see right now that Giratina is on its way up, sitting at 120 US. I do think with Crown Zenith, eventually going to get harder to find, I do think this Giratina is in the position to rise. Moving forward, again, we can see the Arceus V-Star. I'm on the year graph. You can see similar things happen with that Giratina. The market moved with the reprint. So it is very likely as well with the 151 Blue Blooming Waters. Depending on how much product comes out, it is likely we will see dips in 151 singles, similar to what happened with Crown Zenith when the Sea and Sky promo boxes came out. Will it be as significant of a dip as what happened with Crown Zenith? Maybe not, because we have a very big high demand of Pokemon at the moment. So I don't think it'll be as profound as the Crown Zenith's kind of drop was, but I do think usually when sets get reprinted and restocked, singles are the first kind of things to get hit on the chopping block, right? After that, the sealed product and all that goes down, but it's really singles are the first in line to come down when a reprint happens. So I am assuming for 151, when Blooming Waters comes out, do expect that you will see kind of a similar pattern of kind of prices going down, though I don't think it'll be as big as Crown Zenith because we are in different times right now. But you can see right now that this Arceus is selling for 82 USD. Its previous high was 99 USD, and I think throughout 2025, if Crown Zenith doesn't get any more reprints or restocks, it is likely it can surpass its previous high. Moving forward again, we can see the Mewtwo VSTAR. This also in the last 3 months has gone up. So you can see this was selling for 52 USD, right now selling for 83 USD. Fair bit of a price jump, man. We pull that in the year graph, and you can see everything with Crown Zenith had that same trend, what was happening, but it kind of got delayed by 6 months because of that reprint, right? So you can see right now selling for its market low for around 44 USD. You could even pick it up for 43. Then it kind of shot up all the way to 69 USD, fell down to $53, and right now selling for $82. I do think that this card is really cool, man. This is actually a really, really unique Mewtwo artwork, and I think it's looking awesome. Now that this has surpassed its previous high, I do think that now is the season for Mewtwo and Crown Zenith, though we'll have to see what happens, 2025 is anyone's guess. Another one is the Mewtwo from Shining Legends. What a cool artwork, and you can also see that this has had some kind of weird price growth and kind of dips, but in the last 3 months, this has kind of gone up as well. You can see selling for 152 USD, and you can see this Mewtwo is currently sitting at 183 USD. Very interesting to see. We haven't had a Mewtwo chase card in such a long time. We did have that one from Crown Zenith, but we haven't had like a real, like the Pikachu from Surging Sparks, Greninja from Twilight Masquerade. I do think Mewtwo is in the line to get one of its own kind of cards, similar to what happened with Shining Legends. We haven't seen this for such a long time. We did have the Crown Zenith one, though I don't think it had its highlight, kind of like how Giratina got the highlight of Crown Zenith. I would really, really love to see a Mewtwo chase card in a set that completely takes the thunder out of everything. I do think it's an ace Pokemon. I do think it has the fan demand to become a very expensive chase card, but then again, like I said, we've got a lot of Charizard chase cards. We've even had 2 cool Greninja cards come out this year. I think Mewtwo deserves a new card to come out. Moving forward to one of the most famous cards within the Scarlet and Violet era, the Bubble Mew. And you can also see this was selling for $75 in March. Right now, selling for $291. Right there, it says a 214% increase. No one expected this. This has also made Paldean Fates a very, very hot product. $291 for a raw copy for this Bubble Mew. Do I think it's an awesome card? I do, but man, do I think that is very, very expensive at the moment. Then again, Greninja is at that price point as well. So, but then again, Greninja's like double harder to pull than this. So it's very interesting that this got this kind of price point. I'm super excited to see what happens in 2025 for this card. But with the amount of new people entering the hobby as well, prices could maybe level out here because, there's just so much demand for this card. And it doesn't even seem like it's slowing down. It's had like a little bit of a dip, but nothing compared to the growth it's had. Moving again, I'm just looking at Crown Zenith Elite Trainer boxes, and you can see, I'm just gonna pull that into the year graph. The ETBs were sitting around 50 USD, right now selling for 71 USD. Definitely expensive for an Elite Trainer box, 71 USD, but nothing that unattainable either. I do think, again, we're gonna have to wait and see what happens in 2025 for some of these prices. Now, just the little things from Surging Sparks, we can see the Pikachu also has leveled out. Its market high was 576, right now selling for 489. I do think that there is a lot of room for this to drop down in 2025. I do think 489 for a raw copy is very inflated. Look, that's my personal opinion. I know there's a lot more people coming in the market. I know this has very difficult pull rates. I know Surging Sparks is hard to find, though I think we have to let some of these cards find their time to bake in the market. Moonbreon took a while to find that price point, nearly 2 years to get that real strong price point. I think right now we have to wait and see what happens, though I do think it is quite overvalued. Again, we can also see Surging Sparks booster boxes. These are also climbing ridiculously in value. You can see right now selling for 116, around that pre-release kind of a month before it came out, and right now it's selling consistently for around 200 USD per box. Very expensive, man. Very expensive. I know a lot of people said that they can find some Surging Sparks. I actually did find some Surging Sparks loose packs here in Australia, though, you know, that's what you get, loose packs. If you want to actually get the booster box, very, very difficult to find. You are going to be paying a premium. Interesting as well, the Latias Special Illustration Rare, you can see 264, currently selling for 229. Man, it does make Surging Sparks an awesome set to open, because if you do hit the Latias, if you do hit the Pikachu, if you hit the Golden Pika, you are in a good position to get some nice kind of profit on these cards. Though again, you know, opening packs to make profit, silly thing to do. And again, you can also see the Alolan Exeggutor. This was selling for 48 USD. Right now it's gone up more than double to 108 USD. Interesting, man. I didn't expect that at all. Cool card, $108, very, very pricey as well. But probably the most interesting one out of Surging Sparks at the moment for me is the Golden Pikachu, because as I've already mentioned in a few videos, though this is actually technically the rarest card. Well, all the hyper rares are the rarest pulls in the set. This Pikachu, combined with the desirability, combined with the difficult pull rates, you could argue this is the rarest card of Surging Sparks. But you can also see here, we're selling for around 96 USD, went all the way up to 200 USD, and right now it's sitting at $178. Super pricey for a hyper rare, man. That's really interesting pricing. Will it be similar to Snorlax from Chilling Reign, where like during the hype period, everyone wanted that golden Snorlax, and now when you're looking at the Chilling Reign golden Snorlax, it's kind of easy to get. It's not that kind of pricey anymore, right? Will something similar happen to this? I don't know. I think Pikachu is a desired Pokemon. It's going to be interesting to see. Like I said, man, 2025 is the year we all are waiting for to see some of the price of these cards. And what's even more wild is we are technically in difficult times right now. Like when we're talking about economy-wise, the fact that Pokemon cards are climbing like this when we are in such a difficult time, you know, it's wild. It's really, really wild. Like the fact that so many people are drawn to Pokemon cards at the moment. Is it because times are more challenging, so people are more drawn to their hobbies? I don't know, but how can it be? But when you look at things logically, it's kind of very counterintuitive, right? It's not making sense, and it's not lining up how it's supposed to, because you would think during tough times, people would say, hey, I'm selling off my hobbies. Hey, this is all my fun money stuff. This isn't what I need. This isn't a necessity in any way, but the opposite's happening. Things that aren't necessities are climbing up more and more in value, and we are arguably in probably one of the strongest bull runs for modern Pokemon cards in history. And, you know, it's just, you know, we can't sometimes make sense of things, right? And I think that's really interesting, because sometimes we try to be, and I think that's a good thing when you try to be too logical in this field. You know, you can make a lot of mistakes, because logic would say right now people would be selling their collections, but the complete opposite is happening. Now, Surging Sparks, I feel, was the first sign of the Scarlet and Violet era really taking a step in the right direction. Though, as I was saying earlier in the video, we have Prismatic Evolutions coming soon, the new Team Rocket set, the new Generation 5 set releasing, and there's just so many sets coming out, and it seems 2025 will be the year of Pokemon collecting. Though as great as it is, it does make you wonder, how can you collect all these cards on a budget? Well, I do answer that within this video here. Click that video that's appearing on screen and we'll talk more about it there.